Hey, what up, Oos? WWPWW. That's right, we got this podcast game on lock. And, yeah, we are coming to you from our usual studio this week. And, ready to talk about Fastlane and this week's Raw and SmackDown. So we're going to jump right into it. Got a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it. So let's get going.
All right, sorry, that was my fast.
Good podcast.
There we go. We're done. All right, peace, everybody. No, Fastlane 2018 SmackDown, the last brand split only pay-per-view. The first match we have up is Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev. What'd you think?
Decent. Yeah, I thought it was a decent match. I figured, they need one good victory over, a bad guy to give Nakamura a little bit more momentum or whatever or something. I don't know. Like, I get it. But it's just Rusev is so over with, him and Aiden doing the whole Rusev Day thing, so I hate seeing him lose. But there's a purpose to it, though. So it's not just, he loses and then you're just like, well, why that? Why did that have to, so, like, there's at least a sense of purpose to it, so I can kind of get behind it. So, yeah, but it was decent. It was not without its exciting parts. Would not call it boring. So.
Yeah, I agree. Aiden English coming out the way he did, very reminiscent of Road Dogg days. Towards the end of his rap, I don't know why he rapped. That was a little weird, but other than that, he psyched me up for this match. He did a really good job, so I was really impressed with that. Yeah, the match was good. It kept Rusev looking strong, and they needed to do what they needed to do. Shinsuke needed to win in order to push him off towards WrestleMania, where I think he will win, and I think AJ will jump to Raw afterwards. That's my take on the whole situation.
Interesting. Okay, so now we have the Viper Randy Orton versus the glorious Bobby Roode for the United States Championship. Jeremy, what do you think of this match?
Biggest word that I can describe this is surprised. I was surprised to see that Randy Orton would get the title, but I'm okay with it. I'm glad that they finally gave him the Grand Slam. It's kind of funny that what they're doing on SmackDown with the list and the whole, like, the only list I enjoy is the one that I'm on right now, with the fact that I'm one of the only Grand Slam winners. It's like that's pretty cool, but they've kind of poo-pooed the list, and it must have just been a plot point to do this feud, and so it was a good match. The RKO was well done. Yeah, it was a good solid match. Their styles are very, very similar, and so they put on a good match. What about you?
I absolutely loved this match. Yeah, like I've heard people just be like, this match was, or they're just like, I really, really liked it. And I really, really liked it. It was very old school meets new school kind of match, kind of a meshing of those two styles, because both of these guys are both old school type wrestlers, but they have a lot of new school stuff. And so it fit very well. I don't know what it was. There's just something about it I really, really enjoyed. I liked that it started off as a slow burn, and then it really picked up and got fast paced, and was really heavy hitting, which I liked. And it was it was just really, really good. It's one I would probably go back and watch, sort of a hidden little gem that one of those matches where it's just like everybody just doesn't really say much, but you're just like, I like it. So I really, really did like it. This is one. There are, some really good ones on here, and this is probably the second match from this that I would go back and watch again. So, I just really, really, really liked it. I was very surprised that Randy won, but I'm okay with it too, because I'm like, oh, I'm sure they'll have a rematch and Bobby will win it back at WrestleMania. So, yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. So
it looks like it's going to be a triple threat with Jinder in there. So we'll see what happens with that match, but. At least that's what it looks like. Maybe Jinder will be out of the picture in a little bit, but we'll see. All right, next match we have is Natalya and Carmella versus Becky Lynch and Naomi. Caleb, what were your thoughts about this match?
Once again, not a bad match. Rather enjoyed it. Fun. Get the bad guys to win over the good guys. So very interesting there. They keep. I noticed that even more so here recently, within the past couple weeks, they've kind of been showcasing that briefcase a little bit more, and it seems like they're sort of putting it on our minds. And I don't know if this is just a swerve, like we'll keep showcasing the briefcase, making them think something's going to happen, and then nothing does, and then we're like, oh, like at WrestleMania, like, oh, nothing happened at WrestleMania with the briefcase, and then the next night something happened, to kind of build our hopes up and then dash them down, and then we forget about it, and then we get surprised. So, they brought it into play here and kind of, teased us a little, it seems, but yeah, it wasn't bad. What about you?
Uh, if you want a case for having a women's tag team division, this match is one of those cases.
Mm.
It was a very well put together match. Each one of these ladies shined. Yeah, I think it's now is a good time to do a women's tag team division, because you have so many different things that you could do. You could even pull you can put Sasha and Bayley together and pull a Rockers breakup.
Mm.
You could do that.
Yeah.
You could do a bunch of different things. You have a bunch of women in NXT who will probably come up sometime. You have a built-in tag team with the Iconic duo there in NXT. It's time to start thinking that way. You can pull up a ton of women off of the NXT card, and they'd be ready for it. And so I think it's one of those things that now is the time to pull the trigger on the women's tag team match. This match was really well done. Not only did the heels win, but Carmella got the pin. And they're building Carmella back up to say she is a threat. She won this week on SmackDown, which was a good match
Very
as well.
Good.
So they're building her back up, which is good. I can't wait to see what happens. I hope, even if they redid the Seth Rollins thing, I'd be okay with that. But yeah, it was a good match. I really enjoyed it. Nothing too bad there.
I know, yeah. I was just like, man, this match been quite good. Just because it was just hastily put together and seemed like kind of a throwaway, but like it was very, very well done. So now we have the tag team match for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Usos versus the New Day, which ended in a no contest because of the Bludgeon Brothers. Jeremy, what did you think of this match and the whole Bludgeon Brothers thing?
Building the characters of the Bludgeon Brothers, and this was a good place to do it because you give them the heat that they need to become that heel group. I think we're going to enjoy the Bludgeon Brothers. I don't necessarily still like the name, but they use their mallets and they're good. They're strong. They're building themselves strong, and for them to come out and basically destroy both the Usos and the New Day was the best thing they could do, because the Usos and New Day have had the best matches over the last year, best tag team matches over the last year, and to have them come out and interrupt what could have been one of the best matches of this year was just brilliant. It really was. So I like I said, I liked the build up to that. I liked them coming out and just destroying everybody. And I liked what they did on SmackDown. I liked that carryover because they totally destroyed Xavier Woods, quote unquote destroyed Xavier Woods, and they totally destroyed the other Uso, whichever one it was. And Kofi was pretty messed up. So it was nice to see that they left one Uso and one and Big E for Tuesday night. It was brilliant. I thought it was really good. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said, and yeah, the match was an awesome match until like I was just like, it's gonna happen. The Bludgeon Brothers are gonna come out, which is good because, like you said, build up the characters, build up the heat, show them as being pretty dominant. But also they're ruining this match, which has been quite good. And like I loved in the match how they were stealing each other's finishers and stealing each other's moves and stuff like that. That was awesome. And so, but I was just like, I think the Bludgeon Brothers, yeah, it's just kind of they're gonna come out and ruin it for everybody and stuff like that. But in a good way, they ruined it in a good way to where it was good for their character build and all that stuff. Yeah, it was really well done. I quite enjoyed everything about it, and the beatdown I felt kind of went like I feel like there were too many lulls in it where they would like stop, and then it's like okay they're done, and then they would start again where I felt like it should have just been continuous, so yeah I feel like it went on too long just because there were so many lulls and stops in it. So yeah, all right, cool.
All right, next match is Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riott for the SmackDown Women's Championship. What were your thoughts about the match?
I thought this match was pretty good too. Quite enjoyed it. Ruby Riott is really, really good. This is what feels like the first like one-on-one match with somebody from the Riot Squad, just because it's like we've had so many stinking 6-women tag matches since they debuted. It was kind of getting like annoying. And so like I feel like I got to see more of Ruby Riot than I have like since like a year ago when I watched the NXT Women's Triple Threat match. Yeah, it feels like it's been like forever. Like it feels like I haven't seen her wrestle one-on-one or in a not a tag team match in forever. Or even at all, just because it's been so long and all this stuff. So I quite enjoyed that aspect of it, where she really got to showcase and show her whole thing. She wasn't sharing the ring with 5 other people as part of a tag team. So that I really enjoyed. But they still were there in the corner, so the heels can try to cause the sketchy finish or whatever. But so yeah, I enjoyed it. Nothing really bad came to my mind about it. It was just solid. It was pretty good. So what about you?
Yeah, it was fine. There's nothing that I can think of that I disliked about it. The other members of the Riot Squad got involved in their appropriate places, and then Becky and Naomi came out at the appropriate place, and so yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match. It did highlight Ruby Riot and what she could do. So what I'm interested in is what they're going to do with the Riot Squad after, because it seems like the end of that whole Charlotte and her crew versus Ruby Riot and her crew. So I want to know what they're going to do with the Riot Squad afterwards, because they've kind of I don't know if they did anything with Absolution on Raw this week because they didn't show them on the Hulu version, but from the Hulu version of Raw, they haven't showcased Absolution at all in the last several weeks. So they kind of seem like they put it into that, or am I wrong?
There's just been there's just been a match with them.
Okay.
Yeah, just a one-on-one with the people in the corner. So
gotcha. Yeah. And so we'll see what happens with Ruby right after this. But the big thing happened. They're getting ready to set up for WrestleMania. Big thing happened after the match. Caleb, what did you think about what happened after?
Oh yeah, Asuka's music hit, and I was ecstatic, dude. I freaked out. I was like, so like, what? No way. Like, is this? And then yeah, she looked right at Charlotte, pointed at the sign, and I just was over the hill, man. I couldn't. I was like, yeah, I think Asuka was kind of, I don't know. It seemed like they built her for Raw. Like it seemed like they wanted her on Raw, because obviously they put her there. But that being said, it seemed her and Charlotte is the match. Like that is the match right there. So yeah, I was just kind of like, I was expecting, just because in my head I had already been like, like I just automatically thought that they would keep her on Raw, and then after WrestleMania they would bring Ember Moon up to SmackDown, and so she'd be like, the big woman on campus at SmackDown, and then Asuka would run Raw. So like I kind of had that in my head. It's like, oh yeah, that's obviously what they're gonna do. Like, nope, I was wrong. So, but so yeah, it's gonna be an awesome match, like match of the year type stuff right here. Like probably the 2 best women to come into WWE since Lita and Trish. These 2, 2 of the best workers out there, 2 of the best characters out there. Cannot wait for it. It's gonna be awesome. And yeah, and once again, it was an amazing promo. Neither of them said anything. There was a great moment in 2011 setting up for one of my favorite matches. It's WrestleMania 27, 2011, and it's The Undertaker versus Triple H in a no-holds-barred match. It's an awesome match, one of my all-time favorites. And the way it was set up was they kept advertising that something was coming on. I think it was like 2/21/11 or something like that. So that kept popping up on the screen every couple weeks. I was like 2/21/11, 2/21/11. And then on February 21st, 2011, The Undertaker returned, and he made his entrance to the ring, and he stood in the ring, and he just looked around, like, he took off his hat, looked around, and then Triple H's music hit. Triple H hadn't been on TV in like 10 months, and then he comes down to the ring, and neither of them say anything. They just stare at each other. And then Triple H looks at the WrestleMania sign, and then Undertaker looks at the WrestleMania sign. Then Undertaker does the kill gesture, and then Triple H does the DX suck it thing. And it was just like, neither of them said a word, and it was an awesome promo. And like, neither of them said anything, and it totally like spoke volumes. And so this kind of reminded me of that a little bit. How it was just like, it was an awesome promo, if you will, and nothing was even said. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. What about you?
Yeah, I was clamoring for it. I think that this was the best move outside of figuring out a way that Asuka could face both champions.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I think this was the best way to do it. If you bring, my only issue is what would they do if Asuka somehow loses the title? Is she going to stay on SmackDown or is she going to go back to Raw? By losing, I mean it seems like Carmella will use the Money in the Bank thing because Money in the Bank's May this or
I think it's usually like in May or June.
May this
something
maybe
like
this
that,
year.
So.
I'll have to look that up before the end, but yeah, I thought it was really I thought it was the best move. I thought it was the best way to go. You protect Alexa Bliss on Raw, and you do what needed to be done a long time ago and put Alexa versus Nia, her best friend. What they did on Raw this week, I really enjoyed. Really thought was good. So, yeah, this was the best possible thing to do. Is you bring Asuka at least to face Charlotte Flair at SmackDown. I think you keep Asuka on SmackDown because I think that's where the best women's wrestling is done right now, and go from there. I'd like to see Asuka versus a lot of those ladies, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the best thing that they could have done.
Totally, man. So now we have the six-pack challenge for the WWE Championship. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens, John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, and Sami Zayn. Jeremy, what'd you think of this match?
Match was good. Match was really good. It's set up for WrestleMania. It's set up for possibilities of WrestleMania. Obviously, with AJ winning, we seemingly get AJ versus Shinsuke. I mean, they do have 3 more weeks to mess that up, but I don't think they will because I think they want people to watch WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And to be quite honest, there are 10 matches set right now for WrestleMania. And if we could probably sit here and think of more matches that will probably be at WrestleMania. They haven't even announced the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which I don't know if they'll do this year, but they haven't announced it. That's one possibility. But anyway, going back to this. This is setting up for WrestleMania. It's setting up for AJ Styles versus Shinsuke. I think Shinsuke takes it, and I think AJ Styles will go over Raw because there are more matches over there that I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him versus Finn. I want to see him versus everybody on the roster, to be honest. And then Shinsuke, it gives Shinsuke the belt, and hopefully he will shine in this match in order to have confidence of the back to say we're going to go forward with Shinsuke. I'm sure that they could do more with that. And like I said, there's the rumors, and even on Raw, they mentioned the bar mentioned there's rumors of another superstar shakeup, and so who knows what will happen with that. As far as the match goes, there were really good spots. I mean, it was dumb having Shane come out and just sit there, but it's setting up for whatever they're gonna do at WrestleMania. It's possible. The rumor is that it's gonna be a 3-way with Daniel Bryan as ref. That's the rumor and thought going forward right now. And so, I mean, that's all he was out there for, was to set up that. And I liked his interference. I liked the pulling of the ref and then pulling of Sammy off that. And, I did like that. It was just weird having him sit there the whole time.
Did you see the sorry to break your train of thought, but did you see the Cultaholic reactions video to Fastlane?
I haven't been watching YouTube.
Is pretty funny because they're sick and tired of the whole Shane McMahon storyline on there.
It needs to end soon.
It does, and but it didn't really bother me here for whatever reason. It didn't really bother me. So when Shane who did he pull? Did he pull the ref out first, or did he pull
the
Sammy?
ref out first?
Okay, yeah,
so that Sammy could kick Kevin.
Yeah, and
do whatever he did.
Yeah, whatever the first thing he did was when it happened, Ross just went. Ah! And it was just hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah, there's nothing that was bad about. I don't think there's anything bad about this. John Cena sitting in the corner. I know I think on YouTube they posted that John Cena raised AJ's hand afterwards, but we didn't get to see that on the show.
Yeah, they should have kept that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would have been good. Well, I shouldn't say that. because what he did on Raw was very heelish.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say the word. He was being a jerk. He was being a jerk on Raw, which worked well.
Which was brilliant.
And we'll go to that. But some of the things he said, if they played him raising AJ's hand, wouldn't have gone. I don't think would have gone over well with him being all jerk.
Yeah,
He was being heelish at Raw. So I can't think of any big spots or anything of this match. It was good. I feel like the 5-way the Tuesday night before might have been a little bit better, but this one it was fine. What about you?
Yeah, I loved this match. I thought it was a lot of fun, really awesome. Definitely match of the night. One I would probably go back and watch again. A lot of fun. Probably my favorite spot was right at the beginning where Cena just hit everyone with an AA, and then him and AJ just stared each other down. And then and then he kind of psyched Cena out, like where he like kind of moved like he was gonna run towards him, and then Cena does that to pick him up for the AA, and then he just steps back and realizes, and they just kind of stare at each other and kind of smirk.
Yeah.
That was good. That opening scene was really cool. But yeah, I just loved once again like AJ jumping in and stopping every pin.
Yep.
was awesome. And yeah, it was really good. I really, really enjoyed it. It was not boring at all. Fast-paced action the whole way through. Never boring. Really, really liked it. Yeah, man, I just really enjoyed it. It was a great way to end the night. AJ winning, so everybody could calm down and be like, okay, so we are getting him and Nakamura, sweet. And yeah, I just really, really enjoyed it. Like, can't say anything other than that. It was a lot of fun. Definitely going on my top 10 list just because of how entertaining it was. Yeah, man, it was just a great way to end the end the show. It was really, really good.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm glad that everybody had a chance to
shine
in it. You know, that's a good thing about multiple person matches is that they can do that. So
yeah, I agree. All 6 of those guys do a good job in those kind of matches. You have to have a lot of athleticism. I mean, you have to your cardio has to be up because you have to be running in, and your timing has to be right in everything. And so, say what you will about Baron Corbin. Every time he's in one of these matches, he does a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, and Dolph Ziggler, he's always going to be the professional. And yeah.
And also the ending sequence. Cena hit with the pop-up powerbomb, and then AJ hitting the phenomenal forearm. That was like that whole ending sequence was really good. And then the AA through the announce table was really, really good too. So yeah, some good stuff.
Yep. So that was Fastlane. That was our review of the matches.
Letter grade.
Yeah, I was getting to that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I thought you were going into.
No,
I thought you were going into Raw immediately. Sorry.
Hey, Caleb, what letter grade would you give it?
I would give Fastlane a high B, almost a B plus, but just a high B because nothing was bad about it. Everything was good, but it was just good. Besides the main event, which I thought was pretty awesome. So yeah, everything was really good. So
I give it a B plus because of that, and because I think for me it set up the matches that I want to see at WrestleMania. I want to see Charlotte versus Asuka because what Asuka is trying to say when you can't understand her is, I chose you because you're the best.
Mm-hmm.
She's absolutely right. Charlotte, I mean, I should say this. Charlotte hasn't impressed me as of late. I don't know what's going on in her life right now, but for me,
she's in a terrible storyline with the Riot Squad.
and that's probably what it is.
That's what it is.
I wish there was some more build to Charlotte versus Asuka. I think that's going to be my only problem with this match, is that there's no build up to Charlotte Asuka, and even on SmackDown, there's not really build up. It's just you're the best, I'm the best, let's wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
Which is essentially what AJ and Shinsuke is. You're the best, I'm the best, let's wrestle.
Good point.
John Cena, I'm a legend, you're a legend, let's wrestle. And that's what this is, and I'm fine with that. Because WrestleMania is supposed to be the grandest stage of them all. It's supposed to be the best event of the year. And so to put the best matches, fine. But there's no build in a lot of these matches, which, I mean, like I said, it's fine, but I wish there was more build.
Yeah,
but,
hopefully it's one of those things where the payoff, will speak for itself and elevate the whole thing.
And so, Fastlane this year delivered. It is the Fastlane to WrestleMania. It set up at least 3 matches, I would think, on the card. So yeah, it did what it said. Did what it said it was going to do. B+ for me.
All right, cool. Yeah, really good show. Go check it out if you haven't. So now let's jump right into Monday Night Rollins. Ha 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 ha! He needs to bring that back because that laugh is
the laugh.
awful, but it's hilarious. All right, anyways.
That's funny.
Monday Night Raw, Jeremy. What did you think of it this week?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Because they're having to fast track everything for WrestleMania. They have 3 weeks or whatever, 4 weeks from it's past Monday to get things ready. And the opening sequence, I really loved. I loved Roman coming out and saying his piece and saying what he did. I loved that they went back and saw the behind the gorilla position and all the people back there. Obviously, Shane was a plant. I'm assuming Shane is not always there.
Yeah.
But that's fine. It's fine by me. And so having him go back there and basically confront Vince and basically call Vince out, it's Vince's fault. I thought that was brilliant. And then afterwards, Vince saying all that he did. And he's very soft-spoken now. Years of yelling like he did, I'm sure, has caused his voice to be really bad. And so when the crowd was saying, "We can't hear you," they turned up the mic, which I thought was pretty funny. But since I was able to turn up my volume, I could hear him. I thought everything he said was great. He was kind of stumbling to the last point, which is fine. I mean, he's not always on the screen anymore, and so to remember lines and stuff, he's in his 70s, so I wouldn't necessarily. I don't fault him for that. He did a good job leading up to Brock will be here. You can take that as guarantee. Also, Roman is suspended temporarily, and so Roman isn't supposed to be. I'm assuming the whole story is Roman isn't going to be there, quote unquote, be there on Monday. My guarantee is he's going to be there, and they're going to come to blows.
Yeah, he'll probably jump the barricade or come out of the crowd something. So
yeah, and so I loved that. The other stuff I loved was the tag team stuff. I loved that all these. I should say this. I loved the ending. I understand why people would have a problem with it because it makes all those tag teams look horrible now, all of them, because one man, even though it's Braun, beat tag teams. It was a tag team battle royal, and so you can say that way that all the tag teams didn't necessarily team up on him when they should, and when they did, they started thinking about themselves and they would throw people over. And so I didn't hate it. I really liked it. There are rumors that they're going to put Braun, somebody with Braun. My guess is next week, Kurt will say, "You want it, but you need to have a tag team partner." There's rumors that Elias is going to be his tag team partner. Quite frankly, I think it'd be hilarious if it was like a cruiserweight or something, somebody small.
Yeah.
Come in and be like, "All right, you're
him
my
and Gulak.
Gulak." That would be funny. I think it would be funny. I'm fine with him going it alone, but I understand why they would want to put him with somebody else, especially if they want the Bar to keep the tag team championships.
I told you they did this exact same thing 11, 12 years ago with Samoa Joe and TNA, where he had both belts. He had both tag team belts by himself.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. It gives. Here's what it does. If he wins the tag team championships, what it does is set up for next year's WrestleMania, where Braun wins the Universal title. It puts him in a place where I'm huge. Look at me with the tag team titles. At the beginning of the year, I won the tag team titles by myself. I did this by myself. He could become Grand Slam champion this whole next year.
Yeah, there you go.
He could win the tag team championship by himself. Win the Intercontinental title. Change the Intercontinental and U.S. title over. He can win the U.S. title. He can win the Universal title by the next year. This time next year. It's a possibility. WWE title he could win. He is doing the best job. Outside of The Miz, he's doing the best job a worker has ever done on Raw right now. And so I loved everything that happened there. He's like, I'm gonna make a name for myself, and he goes out there and is a part of the tag team stuff.
Yeah.
I like the stuff between Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. I thought that was good. Them, oh, oops, the camera was on, the mic was on. She heard you, and then Nia just going crazy and girl crazy because she went back and like screaming and stuff, not like I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
But just, I mean, her emotions. I mean, she's been scorned by her best friend. She should win that title at WrestleMania.
Totally.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Like, I'm so glad now seeing where they're going with Alexa that Asuka is challenging Charlotte, because this is a really good thing, and Nia frankly does deserve it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope she wins too. So
even if it's short term, she definitely deserves that. And I'm fine with that. I think that's fine. I'm trying to think of what else. I like the Finn. Was that this week? The Finn and Seth match. Because Finn wins. Yeah, I liked the Miz getting involved. I thought that was brilliant. His faces once he's like, yeah, okay, go for this, and then they turn and look at him like, whoa. His faces are the best on Raw, to be honest. I loved his work there. What else happened that I really enjoyed? Anyway, let's go ahead and go with you because I can't remember what else. Do you remember, or what did you enjoy about it?
Yeah,
There wasn't anything I hated. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, me neither. There's nothing else I can't really think of anything else that happened that was big. Like I can't really think of anything else. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed everything they did with Roman, Kurt, and Vince. I loved when Roman was just like, where he was just like, Brock, didn't show up for work today, in a way is what I'm saying. And, what are the repercussions, Hey, everybody here in Detroit, if you just didn't show up for work, would you be fired? Yeah, you would. But no, he's not, because he's Vince's boy. And like when he said that, and then Kurt just like pulled the microphone down, and he's like, no. And then he just like,
don't touch my mic.
He like you said, he's showing that Samoan anger, and it's really working. And
there are people who are complaining that he said that Brock is Vince's boy when we all know that Roman is Vince's boy. So there's like I listened to an interview with Wade Keller, and he really hated that whole concept. But I'm like, for a storyline, this makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, Roman set that up perfectly. If you don't show up to work, you get fired. Why isn't he getting fired? Because showing that he's Vince's boy. He didn't get. Well, he can't go into the drug thing because of the whole drug issues.
Yeah. His part-time contract, makes him not.
Well, I mean, not only that, but like
have to
with Roman's stuff about the drugs and stuff. He can't say anything about that, and so to say, he's getting special treatment.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just like, like I don't know why people would have a problem. Like, it's just like, this is in storyline, this is in kayfabe, so why does that matter? Like, it's just like if I was in a movie and Tom Hanks played my dad, and there's a scene in the movie where he like, puts his hand on my shoulder and he's just like, I'm really proud of you, son. I mean, do you think some idiot would really stand up in the movie theater and go, he's not really your son. You're just actors. This isn't real. Like,
yep. I agree.
So
I agree.
It's really stupid to put, like, it's funny to point that out. Just be like, oh, it's funny that they said that because, he's Vince's boy too. But to have a complaint about it because of that is stupid. Just like, it's just like, well, it's a storyline thing. Like, idiots, but
idiots is exactly what it is.
But yeah, it was really good though. Him and Kurt's back and forth, because it's just one of those things where it's just like, he says, he likes Kurt and he respects Kurt, but he's angry, so he's just like, don't touch my microphone, man, and like, and then he's just like, yeah, I don't care being disrespected by Brock Lesnar, but I'm not going to be respected again by Vince McMahon. And then he just goes back there, and that was, and I like how like Shane was kind of just like, hey, and then he just pushes him back a little bit with his hand. And stuff like that, and he's just like, I'm not talking to you, and like I was just like, is Shane gonna be in this feud too?
Well, there's like during that interview with Wade Keller, there was a lot of just speculation. I'm like, they were speculating maybe Vince will wrestle. I'm like, no, he's 70-something years old. He could probably
He might ref and take an RKO from somebody, but yeah.
He won't go on the ring. Anyways,
No, yeah.
Some of the stuff they said he said, I was like, Wade, come on.
Yeah, like, yeah, some wrestling fans, they just can be the worst. But yeah, this segment was really good. It was probably one of the best things, and yeah, I love how Roman just barreled out of the office. She's like, "Hey Roman, what happened?" And then he just walks away. He's just like so mad he doesn't care. And then Vince comes out like, Brock Lesnar, it's not my boy. Brock Lesnar, it's man. Like, and like that whole thing where he's like, he will be there next week. You have my word. And yeah, so I can't wait to see, if he actually is going to be there, and then, if Roman will jump the barricade and just spear Heyman and then stare down Brock or something. That'd be sweet. So, yeah, everything they did with Nia and Alexa / Mickey was really good. You kind of see, they're sort of like Mean Girls. Like, I love that movie. I don't care who knows it.
No, it's a good movie. I agree with you.
It's a funny movie, man. And so, yeah, this is kind of like a total Mean Girls type thing where, Mickey's the new friend who, kind of budges out the best friend and stuff like that. So now they're becoming best friends, and then the old best friend is kind of fading away in the background and stuff. And so yeah, like that aspect, like it probably wasn't that intentional if it was intentional for them, but that aspect I kind of liked. But it was really good. Right. And then Nia just came in and just like tore up the women's dressing room and stuff. And that meme was hilarious that I sent you, where it showed her screaming and it just said "burn it down." Like that was pretty good. But yeah, that was really well done. The way they built that up and stuff, and I liked how they showed like, she beat the jobber and just like, yeah, I got my confidence back, I got my groove back, aha. And then that happens, and she's just like, oh, I'm tired of being the victim. I'm tired of being the butt of jokes and ridicule. So you know what, it's about to get real. And so like she has her groove back. So she's going back, taking everything out and stuff. And yeah, the tag team stuff with Braun, I also get why people wouldn't like it, because it's just like, yeah, there's all these tag teams. Like, Braun's not a tag team. Why are you doing this? Like, you can make him look strong in a different way. But it's funny, and it's cool, and it's fun just to see him own everybody.
And the bar sold it well.
Yes.
At the end, when Sheamus is taking off his glasses, and he's like, like, what just happened?
Yeah. So yeah, like all that was good. I can't really think of anything.
John Cena's promo.
How did we forget that? The promo.
Came to me a minute.
All right, yeah, that'll be a good thing to close out the show with. Yeah, gosh, I can't believe we forgot that. I can't believe I forgot that because I talked it up to you. But yeah, the whole Finn, Miz, the Seth thing. I wouldn't have thought to stick these three guys in a triple threat, but I'm happy that it is happening, because it's one of those things where it's like, whoever wins, I'm okay with it. And I think it's good for all three guys. Like, I don't know, like there's just something about it that I really, really like and enjoy, and I'm like, oh, that makes complete sense. Like, I don't know, it just really clicks with me. So totally on board with that. So anything else before we jump into Big Match John's promo?
I can't think of anything else that happened.
Me neither. So all right, cool. Well, we'll jump right into this. Cena's promo this week I thought was awesome. It was really, really good, bringing back that sort of Boston Streetwise, Doctor of Thugonomics. Like, he was hardcore healing. Like, I don't know. I don't think it was the long-time fabled John Cena heel turn, but he was acting pretty heelish in this, man. And it totally worked, and it was awesome. Like, first off, it started really loose and fun, and he chugged the guy's beer, which was hilarious. That was hilarious. And then where he's just like, so whether I go to WrestleMania as your opponent or as a fan, which is going to be awesome, you better be there. It's going to be a party. Like, that was funny. Like, yeah, it was just really funny. And then he's started. He's just like, all right, let's have fun. Let's go, Roman. And then he looks around and he's like, let's have fun. Let's go, Cena.
Yeah.
And then he just like tilts his head, and then they're like, Cena sucks. Like that, and then he led them in the back and forth chant with the "Let's go, Cena, Cena sucks." That was fun. So yeah, and then but yeah, when he was calling out Taker and dropping all that, all those heat magnets, let's call it. Yeah, like yeah, that was awesome. Like, what did you think of everything that happened in it? Like,
I thought it was funny in the places it needed to be funny. Like the whole Sasquatch guy,
yeah,
whoever that guy was. I thought that was funny. I liked I like that whole concept. I'm not gonna go as a wrestler, as an opponent, or as a performer. I'm gonna go as a fan. I love that whole, like you said, the pointing, like it's gonna be awesome. I thought that was really funny. Um, the 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 major issue I had with it was how he got himself to be like, oh, what, why don't I just why don't I mean, that part was a little weird, but after that, when he says, I challenge you, Undertaker, and he's like, he taps the mic, my mic's not off, let me try this again. I challenge you, Undertaker. Didn't happen, so it must not be about the people in the back, it must be about Undertaker. I like that whole concept of saying it's got to be the Undertaker's fault that I'm not having a match at a WrestleMania, or this match that I want to have at WrestleMania. I thought that was good. I know some people were having issue with making Undertaker human. I'm fine with it
I have a theory.
Go ahead and say what you're going to say, because I think I was going to say the same thing.
He said, towards the end of the promo, Cena said, "Yeah, I don't want to cut you
No,
off
you go.
if you
Go.
if you."
No, I do this stuff all the time. So I do
Okay,
that thing all the time.
like he said, the ball's in your court, dead man. Time to see if you're still alive. So I'm thinking that we're going to hear the gong and then hear footsteps and then hear dead man walking and then we're going to hear Limp Bizkit's rolling and he's going to be the ABA. Maybe.
I think similar to that, but who's going into the Hall of Fame this year?
Kid Rock. So
we're
it'll
going to
be
get the American Bad A
song.
Or yeah, one of those type things. That's what I think. I think we're going to get that. But you're right. He says dead man. We could get the kind of the fallout of the American Bad A version. I just was privy to. I watched No Way Out 2003, and that was kind of his character. It wasn't the American Bad A, but it was still coming down the ring with a motorcycle. He had a different song then, and so.
Oh yeah, that was when he was a Big Evil. When he had like
Big Evil,
the bandana and the short hair and.
I couldn't think
stuff,
of the phrase Big Evil. I mean, it's probably going to be the American Bad A version because, like I said, I think Kid Rock's going to sing at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
it just would make sense. I don't know if we're going to see Undertaker at Raw.
I hope we do sometime.
Yeah. I would. Anyway, the only other thing that was kind of weird was not only the humanizing, but I thought was funny when he was like, yeah, your wife's putting up videos of you working out and stuff. The other thing is that John Cena is appealing to the Undertaker's ego. It's like, even backstage, like even people who know him, like even when I've listened to podcasts about him, he doesn't have an ego. He does his job. He wants to do the best job he can do. He doesn't have an ego, and so I don't quite understand.
I feel like it's just kind of a
goad.
Yeah, it's just him kind of quote unquote being heelish to goad Taker into the match, kind of thing.
Sure.
So like that's kind of what
But
a tad, yeah, I grant you that, but
definitely for me, definitely a better promo this week than it was last week. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Yeah, I just really liked this promo a lot. I thought it was pretty awesome, and just like I just love where he just was like, stop hiding behind your lame excuses and give me this match. You are not too old. You are not broken down. You are not washed up, because if you weren't, you wouldn't be posting workout videos on your wife's Instagram.
Yeah.
And then everybody just was like, oh, and then he does like the home run swing. But yeah, it was great. It really got me jazzed up. It really got me pumped up. I can't wait to see where it goes. it's just one of those things where it's like, does Taker lose 2 years in a row, or is he the rare case because he's so iconic, because he is, perhaps the greatest character? Does he break the cycle, and is he the first guy to go out on top? So that's an interesting kind of thought I had.
We'll have to find out, because John essentially is on his way out of the company as well. I mean, he's not necessarily doing part-time right now. I mean, he's putting in full-time, or at least full-time on TV. He's putting in. So I think it would be nice for John just to say, okay, it's for you. This is how you do. We respect you so much that you are going out on top. And I'm sure we can even make a case that next year Undertaker goes into the Hall of Fame. So.
Totally. All right, cool. So what would you give Raw? Letter grade.
I loved it. I'm going to go to A+. It did everything that I wanted it to do to set up for WrestleMania matches. So for me, it's an A+.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Just everything about it got me jazzed up, and I texted you and I was like, dude, Raw's getting real. Like, I'm enjoying it. Like, they're setting it up, man. They're fast tracking stuff and getting everything set up. So yeah, A+ for me, man. Totally.
Well, the only thing we didn't talk about was the Battle Royal that was announced. Just a little quick snippet. There is going to be a women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania. It was once named
Fabulous Moolah.
Yeah, Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal, and they've since changed it because
she's a terrible person.
She is really horrible person. And so, yay for WWE coming out and saying, you know what, after further review and after all these fans have said that's probably not the best thing to do, and probably even talking to the internal, like the women that they respect, the women wrestlers or whatever, that they respect. Bravo, WWE, for coming out and saying, you know what, probably wasn't the best thing in hindsight. They changed it. Let's move on. Women's Battle Royal. So there's that.
Don't know who they're going to name it after.
No, nobody. It's just going to be Women's Battle Royal.
Okay.
That's all it's going to be.
Okay.
I know who they could. They should say Alunda Blaze. I think that would have been fine. But they're not. It's just Women's Battle Royal. And so we move on from that because it kind of bridges both. They had both preview in both. SmackDown Live. Caleb, your thoughts about the card and everything else?
I really, really like SmackDown too. I enjoyed it. Some fun stuff. I liked. Was Asuka and Charlotte? Did that start the show, or what started the show?
I don't remember, to be honest.
No, it was AJ. AJ started the show.
Oh yeah.
His promo was good. Liked that, and I love how they're just like, "You deserve it." He goes, "No, I earned it."
Yes.
Totally rad. Totally rad.
That was the best thing.
And I like how he's just like, I'm just like all of you guys. I am just an everyday guy, punching into work and stuff like that. But when I get into this ring, I am phenomenal. Yeah. And I was just like, he's not. He's right, like. And then Shinsuke came out. And they had the back and forth, and I'm just getting really excited for that. Can't wait for that. And then AJ had a match with Rusev, which was really good, which I quite enjoyed. And so then Aiden jumped in and stopped him from beating Rusev, and so Rusev has a win, yeah. It's by DQ, but hey, win's a win. And then Shinsuke comes in and saves him and stuff like that. So kind of setting up like the whole where he's just like, hey, I didn't. And then later on he's like, hey, I didn't need your help. I didn't need your help to beat 5 guys the other night, and I didn't need your help tonight and stuff like that. And he's just like, okay, won't happen again. And like And so, they're they're having interaction. They're building up their dynamic and to their match, which I just can't wait for. And so that whole thing was good. I liked that. And then Charlotte and Asuka, their back and forth I really enjoy too, just because it's just like, man, these women are just oozing charisma and oozing confidence, and they both want to win. And I just love how like Asuka was just like, I chose you because you are the best, And then I just love the whole, Asuka bows to no one because nobody is ready for Asuka. And and then they just stare at each other down and stuff, and I was just like, can't wait for that either. Could be awesome. Yep. And then for some reason Randy's music hit, and like they didn't.
That was a weird transition.
That was a weird transition. Like I thought it would kind of been cool if they kind of rolled with it, and he came in and like stopped and looked at them and just went. Just kind of like, yeah, like give like a nod, like, I want to see this, like, this match is gonna be awesome. Like, something, just because like they did that last week with Bobby Roode,
Hmm.
where his music hit, and then like, which I get him and Charlotte were they're partners in the mixed match challenge. I get that, but it was just weird. Like, and so then doing it again this week was kind of weird. But yeah, I liked Randy's whole thing. I liked that that he's just like yeah, I got this title, it's mine. Like, so it's not just like hey, I got this title, isn't that cool, guys? Like he's actually emoting and being like, I got this title, it's awesome, haha, and I'm never giving it up, blah blah. And then Bobby comes out, says, "Yeah, I have a rematch clause. Yeah, and guess what? It's going to take place at WrestleMania because it's glorious, haha." Like, in so many words.
Yeah.
And then Jinder came out, blah blah blah. I'm a bad guy, blah blah blah.
Yep.
I'm paraphrasing.
Yep. No, that's what I
And
said.
And so their match was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. So that I really liked. And then one thing I really liked too is just like a little thing, where Jinder like rolls out of the ring, and he starts like walking away like he might like jump the barricade and just leave, and then Randy just like slowly stands up out of the chair next to the announcer's table and looks at him, and then he just like immediately turns around like like you could almost hear the bump 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 brrr, like cartoon noise, just like yeah, like it looks like he should have just looked at the camera and like shrugged or something.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so yeah, like I liked that, and then one thing that I really, because it was just some random TV match, was Naomi and Carmella. That match was awesome. That was really good.
It wasn't random because they're building Carmella back up. You said it was a random TV match. I'm like, no, they're building Carmella back up.
Yeah, I get that, but it was just like there wasn't much storyline other than that they were in the tag match on Fastlane. Like that's what I mean by random.
I got you.
Where it was just like kind of there just cause like I get that there's a reason, but in storyline it was just kind of there. It was but it was really really good. It wasn't that long, but it was really fast paced. So they got a lot of stuff in. I really really liked the bit where Naomi kept trying to kick her and she just kept ducking, and then like she goes for it again and then she just knees her in the face. Like that was awesome, and it had some sound on it. Like did a really good job with that. Pardon me, but yeah, it was awesome. Quite enjoyed that. It was pretty good. And then the Jimmy Uso and Big E teaming up, I liked that. And like they put up a good fight, but they still lost. Building up Bludgeon Brothers, that was pretty. That whole segment was good. Quite enjoyed that. It was pretty awesome. And I'm trying to think of anything else.
Shane McMahon comes out and basically says that he is stepping back, but before he steps back, he makes the match. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I wish he would have made it like a no holds barred match or something like that.
There's still more to come.
That's true. Yeah.
Daniel Bryan's going to be on next week.
Yes.
So I think he's going to build that match a little bit more.
So yeah, I thought the beatdown on Shane kind of went way too long and kind of was just like, all right, we get the point. You guys hate him, but like, and I get it. Some people who hate the storyline, that might be kind of cathartic for them. But like, it just kind of went on too long. I was just like, all right, we get it. You beat him up, you hate him, blah blah blah. Go on, like, just, okay, it's still going. Like, but yeah, that was about the only downside. But that wasn't that big of a deal. So, but yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It was pretty good. What about you?
Yep. I have nothing else to say. Because you literally said everything I would have said.
Yeah, because I just pretty much liked everything about it. So
there wasn't anything that I hated. I mean, again, the whole Shane McMahon storyline is getting thin, but I'm willing to give it a Daniel Bryan week. So I'm waiting for him to come out and say more than likely it's going to be a triple threat, and I think eventually he'll probably be referee. But that's my opinion. Yeah, there's nothing that I didn't like. You said the thing I was going to say about Randy Orton, his intro, that was weird. Right after the Asuka Charlotte confrontation. For me, Charlotte was a little stiff with her words. She's just not good on the mic at times, a lot of times. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if there's something up with her or what, but. Yeah, there wasn't anything bad. I liked the Big E and the Uso together. I liked the whole chairs thing and then smacking the chairs out of their hands. I loved that. Yeah, I don't think there was anything else.
Yeah, I
Yep,
can't
and
think of much else either.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure we talked about everything.
I like the fact they keep Rusev looking strong, even in disqualification or whatever. That match would have been a pretty decent match if it would have gone all the way through. Can't think of anything else. Yep, setting up for WrestleMania. That's where we're at. We're on the road to WrestleMania. 3 more weeks. After Monday, or well, after tomorrow, Sunday, not tomorrow.
It's been a long week for everybody.
It's been a long but short week anyway. That's all I gotta say. So I think I would give it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't better than Raw.
Mm.
I'm gonna give it an A minus.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a B plus. Really good, nothing bad about it. Just a couple weird things and stuff, but I don't know but yeah, Raw just was a lot better. Had a lot more going on, set up a lot more stuff. This set up a lot of stuff too, and I can't.
Yep.
And I'm excited, but yeah, it was just for whatever reason, Raw just hit the mark better this week. So.
Yep, it did.
So all right, well I guess we can call this episode good.
Yes, sir.
Need to get on a better sleep schedule.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we see you guys next week for next episode. We'll do our weekly recaps, and before we know it, we'll have to do our predictions for WrestleMania, which will probably take 70 minutes because there's going to be 20 matches.
There's already 10 matches right now, so we'll see how many matches will be next week.
Yeah. Good. Yep. Like we said, we are in the Fastlane for WrestleMania.
Yes,
so.
we are.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, fans. We will see you next week.
Peace.